Hello, today's topic is social conditioning. What is it? How does it form? And why is it controlling our lives in a negative way and we don't know it? So, social conditioning, it's basically beliefs, ideas, and traditions passed down by the environment that we grew up in. It's good that social conditioning exists because it gives everybody who, all the newborn kids who grow up, it gives them the rules to society so that there isn't chaos and everyone is doing what they think they should be doing. And so by establishing these rules, this makes human living together possible. This is also the reason why laws exist, so that we have rules, so that it's not absolute chaos. However, all of these things that you get, all of these things, all the social conditioning, because you're a kid, you don't have much time to test everything for yourself, and you need to get your bearings on the world fast. What happens is that you learn a lot of things through second-hand experience. How do we learn through second-hand experience? There are a few checks. How much the person who is telling you something, they believe it. How many people support it. Let me give you an example. Someone comes to you and says, the sky is green. You're like, oh, the sky is green. And they are very certain there. You know what? The sky is green. I'm sure of it. I'm 100% sure. And then you think, is the sky green? And if there are 1,000 people behind that person, yeah, the sky is green. Yeah, man, green up there. And you're like, wow, the sky really is green. Now, this thing you can't check for yourself, actually. But you believe it. You believe that the sky is green, and that idea, that belief gets stored in your subconscious and stays there forever. And that's good that we believe things in this way because we don't have time to check everything for ourselves. We need to learn how the world works fast in order to survive. Suddenly, we never get to test these beliefs. Some of them are very helpful. Most of them are very helpful. They're great. They help us function in society. Others were helpful in the moment, but they may hinder our lives today. So, let me give you an example for such a belief. Maybe you grew up in a family where you were mocked for being crying. This is very common in Eastern Europe, maybe for boys in general, maybe even for girls, being mocked for crying. Because showing weakness is bad. That's the idea. Oh, you shouldn't cry. They'll know you're weak. And that's what your parents or your environment, maybe kids at school, they mock you for crying. Ah, look, look, look. He or she is crying. La 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 la. So what happens is that as a kid, we have limited perception of the world, like a horse with these things. We see only a very little bit. For us, the classroom or our parents and teachers, the figures of authority, these things mean the world to us. And so if the class mocks us for something, that means that the world would mock us for something. And that means that everyone will reject us. And if everyone rejects us, we are alone, we die. So, because of this limited perception, we take things very extreme as children. Not everything, I mean, it's pretty much random. Some things are like, oh, we don't care much. Others, whoa. So, yeah, for someone who grew up in such an environment, crying is bad. And in the moment, it's good to believe that because you feed in, you don't get abandoned, you die. That's what you believe. Yet, as adults, we may realize consciously, thinking logically about it, crying is good for us because we experience the authentic sadness from something. So, crying is good consciously. Yet, the subconscious still believes, because of the childhood, that showing that weakness will lead to death. And so, we design our lives according to these beliefs, avoiding being triggered to avoid this certain death. So for the person who believes that showing weakness will lead to these awful consequences, maybe they don't take that much action. Maybe they hide themselves more so that they don't get mocked, so that they don't experience sadness, so that they won't die. And so they hide themselves from the opinions of others by hiding themselves in general, which is not good. As we know, if you in today's world, attention is the currency. You need to be out there showing yourself, showing who you are, and otherwise you're invisible, and it's not a good situation to be in. Yet we think that, but subconsciously there are blocks to that because of that belief from our childhood. And this is when we start living in reaction to what is in our subconscious, and we run away from it, from these beliefs, from social conditioning, also from past trauma and core identities. It sounds awful. Everyone goes through this. It's a common experience for everyone. No one is protected. No one is special. No one is a special case where they had a perfect childhood and no such thing happens. It's impossible. And so, what is the solution to this? It's to stop running away. Stop running away from this. Stop designing your life so that you avoid being triggered, avoid feeling the charge of these core beliefs and past trauma from the past, and face them. Face them by letting them go, by becoming aware of them, experiencing them fully, and letting them be. That's how we process things from the past, and that is how we live an authentic life of our own design, not by the design of our core beliefs, past trauma, and core identities. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.